Up really high.
Hello, good morning and welcome to Bars and Bells.
Good morning.
My name is Ian.
And I'm Lauren.
And we showed up early today to the studio for our 6 a.m. sessions and went home and came back early because we didn't want to be late. But then we got playing with our toes.
And we got distracted.
And got distracted here. So welcome to this morning's session. Restore and recharge. Do you have a seat? Something to sit on? You could be on the floor as well. Sitting is maybe a little bit more accessible to start. And we're going to start quickly with our breath, work to the feet, have a nice little warm up here, and then get going on some body weight walks, squats, and balances. Ready?
Yep.
All right. Like that hand on the belly, then the hand on the chest. Take a big breath in through the nose, and then exhale as well through the nose. And repeat 3 more. Look to slow things down. Exhale and feel the belly in the breath, or the breath in the belly, as the hand on the chest stays calm. Repeat one last time together here. Breath in the belly, and then exhale. Reset those arms. Find a comfortable place to stay for those for a second. Now I'd like to take 10 very quick breaths, only emphasizing the in. With the mouth closed, let's take 10 breaths starting now. Exhale. Let's do that one more time. 10 sniffs. Now let's slow things down with 4-second breaths. Hand on the belly as optional, but take a 4-second inhale starting now. 4, 3, 2, and we'll hold that. Exhale. Holding empty for 4 seconds. Inhale. Hold full for 4 seconds. Exhale. Hold empty. And last breath in together here. Exhale. Last night in class, so-and-so in the back was working, mouth closed, working hard, breathing in and out of the nose. Whole time.
The whole time.
That L-dub.
Makes
Wow.
us so happy.
Keep it going. Work on the breath. Work on those small things that are very hard to detect, including the toes. How do you wiggle your toes, Lauren?
I just move them all around.
Do you look at them? Do you try to feel them without looking?
Yep.
Awesome.
Get them long and spread out.
From here, I'm going to lift exclusively my big toes. So my other 4 toes are going to stay heavy, and I want us to lift that up. And as important as it is to lift or have that extension, that pressure down is also important. So now for 10 or so seconds, press those big toes heavy through the floor.
Are my other toes down?
Your other toes are doing the same for 3 more seconds, 2 more seconds, and just relax the feet. I know it doesn't look like much, but I hope that felt grounded or work on the ankles or feet. Let's do the same thing one more time. So for about 10 seconds here, lift up the big toes. Lauren was checking earlier to see that the big toe was tracking the inside step of the foot, trying to avoid the other directions. But now press them down. And for 10, 9, can you fatigue the balls of the feet and the toes, overwork your grip here by pressing down? And then relax and just again have a little bit of that toe wiggle. Let's keep the big toe down. And now lift up the other 4 toes, but pay attention to this lateral border of the foot now, or that pinky knuckle, and keep the pinky knuckle down as we aim to spread the other 4 toes. Now, keeping the big toes heavy, let's press down that whole foot again, asking yourself, are you heavy on the heels? Are you heavy on the forefoot? 3, 2, and relax that. And then one last time, again, amplify that tension on those big toe presses. Lift and spread the other 4 toes. And again, the pinky border to stay super heavy for 3 more seconds, and then press them all down for 5, 4, 3, and relax. From here, there's just one more drill I like to do regarding the feet or the arch, and that will be that arch pull. So, sitting as you are, with flat toes, could you contract that arch and hold this nice tension in on the arch for about 5 more seconds, and then relax? Look at my foot. It might be hard to see, but did your toes curl or lose that big toe mound? For this drill, try to avoid that. So you have a flush or flat foot to the ground, and then contract that arch. And again, looking for this 10-second work of pulling the toes to the ball of your foot, or the heel of the foot rather, and then relax.
This is my arch.
Yeah, just trying to do a little bit of this tension relaxation. So just like one more time on that same side. Can you feel that shore up this activity all the way up into the knee maybe? Think about these nice tib bones.
Other foot?
Other foot, same thing. It might be easier standing, might be harder standing with more tension coming down, but for 5 more seconds, continue to pull that forefoot to the heel and then relax. Same thing, we're gonna try to keep those toes as flat as we can, pulling across the floor, contract that arch, let it take some tension, relax. And then one more, pull it again, grip it. Don't pull so hard as to move the leg, but really think about initiating the pull from the foot and relax. All right, time for a little bit of hip here. The easier version for the hip is to have the leg extended, resting on the floor. The harder version is again in that hip flexion position here. No matter what, as Lauren's showing really nicely from the side, we're gonna sit in that lumbar extension, doing everything to avoid the lumbar flex. But flexing our spine is good too. We just don't want to do that right now. So tall, a little bit of an beginner example, more advanced example is my demonstration here. So Lauren has that dorsiflexed ankle, so let's do that. And then we'll extend if you choose. Now we'll do that internal external rotation in the hip, so that inseam shows itself towards up, and then gently internally rotate or hide that inseam down. And we'll do about, 3 of those. So again, we have that external rotation in the hip, starting to shake a little bit, and then that internal rotation. And is your foot doing more work or is the hip? Right now, we want that hip to do all of that work. The foot's along for the ride. We'll finish one more time in that internal rotation, and then just very slow, bend the knee back towards a resting position, placing it on the floor. Alternate to the same movement on the other side. Extend through the hip. Dorsiflex on the ankle, and that rotation from the femur bone in the hip, turning out, and then a little smaller for me there on that turn in. So 3 total, we'll do it nice and slow on the external rotation, and then that internal rotation, keeping the foot slightly the other direction from the hip. For example, turning out, keep the foot a little bit in so you don't do too much on the ankle. And then when you turn in, almost wing that ankle out to really be honest from the hip flexion. Then the knee bend, and sink that down.
Sink that down.
Does that feel all right?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna do kind of another example that can help build that strength to do the progression that I did with my leg extended, or it could just be a little bit extra work for the hip flexors. So sitting on the edge of the chair, grab onto the back of the knee. And again, now we could do those small rotations at the knee. Check it out. Be particular. I'm going to always advocate that we kind of roll in on that knee. So the foot, again, is lined forward. Then from here, maybe bend the knee. Now making sure that we sit tall. We could accommodate this on the floor on our backs as well.
Sorry.
Now very slow, look to straighten the knee without losing the height.
Well, I was going to go back down here had I known that we were going to do that.
Great. And then nice and slow on the end. We're only going to do that one more time. Maybe bend that knee a little bit more. Then against that tension in the hamstring, very control. Nice stable knee joint here. And then the bend. Return to the floor. Alternate to the other side. So as Lauren said there, low position here will be a little bit more accommodating or beginner movement.
It's hard to move external, internal down.
It is. So up here, it just kind of shows that a little bit better. Okay. So that would be, again, my external rotation. So from here, I'm going to try to roll in on my knee. just like this would be on the wrist, elbow, and then bend the knee. From there, grip it with the hamstring, and then take your time to extend through the knee. Hold for just a quick 1,000 out there, and then no slingshots, let it come home with control. Then calibrate the knee, maybe a little turn in, and then grip hamstring, last one, nice extension through the leg. And then down, and find the floor. And as a little bit of a test, we'll come back to this in a second. Seated tests, figure fours, in a strict way, again, no dump, no round, making sure we're nice and tall. Take the ankle and try to place it on the opposite knee. Cheater.
Well, am I supposed to do it or not?
Just be honest with it, that's all.
Well, I knew I had to cheat.
Okay, and then bring it down.
I just didn't think I had to announce it.
And do the same thing on the other side. Yeah, I'm a little cheater too there. And then down. Perhaps do that one more time on your own. We're gonna get standing up here, but use that as a little test. We'll do one more time, one more movement for our hips from standing. We'll come back and see if that's a little bit more available. Let's stand up. We'll use our chairs here though, Lauren.
We'll use our chairs.
So get it to the height that's appropriate for you. If your hamstrings are a little bit limited in that mobility or flexibility, the lower box, the higher the box, the bigger the challenge. You like doing these after your runs, so how about we do like that standing hamstring,
how
and
about
a hip flexor.
So stay square to your chair, set up square.
I'll face whichever way, yeah.
Set up square to your chair, square to your chair. Take one leg, slowly pull it up your body like you're drawing a line on the inseam of your pants with your heel or your foot. Then when it gets to about that level that it's going to clear, extend the leg and place it down on the chair in front of you. Toes towards the ceiling right now. From here, hands maybe on your hip or holding something to stabilize, that's fine too. Hike a hip, pull that extended leg hip up, and then think about pulling that down. Now, gently pull your femur into your socket, meaning you're gonna suck that femur back in and your heel is gonna slide a little bit towards you on the chair. Now stay there. Hopefully that allowed us to square up a little bit more forward back. From here, do the same thing we did earlier. So that external rotation from the femur, trying to show the inseam to the ceiling. Then back to center. Internal rotation, trying to hide that inseam. Again, making sure your ankle's not doing more work than the big bone leg. Rotate open here, inseam up, back to center, inseam down. Then square up. We're gonna pivot on that other heel to rotate quarter turn away. Now check in with that leg. It should be beside us here. Get yourself organized. Can we level our hips again? So can we hike that hip up and then pull it down, but not jut it out the other side? Right now, toes are to the ceiling. Try to open that kneecap or put the kneecap towards the ceiling so our inseam's forward. Then internally rotate, hiding that inseam. Watch that hip doesn't hike up here into your low back. Then open back up again. Inseam faces forward. And one more time, staying square forward. Internally rotate. Then externally rotate, knee toe to ceiling. Pivot on your bottom heel to square up. There might be a little hip hop in there. Standing back up tall. Drag this heel along the step towards you. Pull, 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 pull. Pull it up off the step. Bend it, keep it bent as you reach it back behind you, and then keep your foot flexed as you straighten the knee underneath and place your foot down.
Yeah.
Same thing, second leg. We started square to our chair. We bent our leg and pulled our foot up the inseam of our pants like we're drawing that line up. And then once it has clearance, extend it out onto the chair. It's my middle name, Claire.
Claire.
After clearance. Anyway, from here, hike this hip up, pull it down. Then, same thing on the other side, like that straw, suck it into its socket by dragging the heel towards you a bit. Well, that should probably intensify that stretch. Then, staying square, level hips. Let's externally rotate or inseam up, back to center, inseam down. Externally rotate, open up. Internally rotate, inseam down. Watch the hip hike. Then come to neutral place. On that bottom standing leg, can you pivot open? So now you're square to a new corner. Hike that hip up and then pull it down. From here, right now, kneecap and foot are trying to face the ceiling as my shoulders and hips are facing forward. Then I'm going to hide my inseam, rolling it in and rolling it open. And rolling it in, but watching that I don't hike the hip up into my low back. So only going as far as you can. Then back to open. Rotate that bottom foot again towards center. Drag the heel across your step, pulling the knee up. Keep the knee bent as you reach it behind you. Keep the dorsiflex foot, straighten the knee underneath you, creating room. Shake it out.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. So from that, I like to just get into a little bit of a lunging movement, also using your chair. For this, I'm going to bring the floor up. Maybe you're going to stay at that same height, but I'm going to bring it up just a little bit here. So Lauryn, again, using her cues, will press through the floor, pull up a single leg like we're drawing that line up, but this time we're going to keep that knee bent. Hoping, like you can see from Lauryn too, we have about a 90-degree angle on the front knee relative to the hip and ankle. And again, Lauryn is nice and extended here through that standing leg hip as well. We'll cue the hike, making sure that everything is nice and level. From here, squeeze that standing leg bum cheek, press down through the elevated leg, and try pulling yourself forward. And you can see here how Lauryn's knee might slowly go towards over the toe. Lauryn has quite a bit of that, so I'm actually going to come out of that, Lauryn. That's really good. Can everyone see that chair here? The goal is that Lauryn's knee could eventually
move my foot back.
Get towards here. Okay? Because Lauryn has a lot of room that way, let's just turn the chair sideways so she can work a little bit more on her range.
That's nice.
Hips are level. Squeeze that back butt cheek. We're aiming to get that front knee towards forward. But again, if you look at Lauryn's profile, her head, hips, shoulders in between are moving together. Can we stay there? Is that politely intense on these hips? Stay there, but relax. Then re-squeeze this back butt cheek. Then pull forward to go knee over toe. And then hold that for a couple extra seconds. And then stay there and relax. Now, isometric is a word we use a lot. Work hard, but don't go anywhere. So from here, I'd like to press forward through the front, back through the back, but don't go anywhere yet. Can you feel that tension? And then relax. Now, squeeze your back butt cheek and use the front leg pushing forward to press you back. And as we go back, we're trying to get that knee to 90, but making sure the standing leg is really extended or pushing forward. Hold that for a couple seconds. Relax some tension, but then re-squeeze the butt. Slide that foot off, and as Lauryn cued with that hip extension, parallel quads, and then clear under the foot. And then relax and shake it out a little bit. Okay, we'll do the same thing on the other side. So, press down to go up. Use that floor tension to flex the hip, and then extend on the box. Hip hike, level it out. So from here, we're going to squeeze the back butt cheek, making sure we're extended nice and tight. Press down through the elevated leg and pull yourself forward. So feel that tension underfoot, just like in that warm-up. Challenge your position, encouraging that dorsiflexion. Beautiful line again, Lauryn, head, shoulders, hips, up and down. Stay there, but chill. Check your shape. Are you open? Shoulders, hips, all facing forward. Same thing here. Now squeeze the back butt cheek, press down, and pull yourself forward, making sure that this hip's coming with you. And then stay there and relax. And now that isometric, work hard, don't go anywhere. Push forward through the front, back through the back, squeeze, 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 relax. And now we'll actually move. So we're gonna squeeze the back butt cheek, push forward, but work harder on the back butt cheek. But holy cow, this works. And yeah, feel that work here too. And then relax. but then regrip the tension on the standing leg and slowly look to extend that hip and then straighten out the leg.
This is the honesty chair. You know if somebody's working.
Tip in,
Tips.
tip in a little bit. Come back to the chair for one last movement here. Little test, little intermission, perhaps a little retest. And maybe it didn't make a difference, or maybe it just highlighted that awareness of staying strict and moving within the hips. But for one or two, take your time, sit tall.
Didn't help.
Get it there.
Side, sorry.
If it gets there, could it lift higher? Maybe. Put it down. And then one last time the other side. I still had to cheat. That wasn't as bad, but I'm barely on. We're gonna have one side that's a little bit different, most likely. That's okay, but just use that awareness building drills to help the mobility and strength of the hips. The simple challenges are the hard ones. So from here, we like to get into some of our core, as well as some of our walks. And again, we'll have Lauryn take us through a straight-legged and then a bent-legged horse series, and hopefully finish with some of our sumo moves as well.
Get your...
That's a horse sound or a sumo sound?
Oh, that was my horse sound.
Okay, okay.
Sumo would be one.
So get the chairs out of the way. Hopefully you have a little bit of open space here. And again, Lauryn will take us through some of the walks.
All right, straight-legged horse is standing tall, feet underneath you and touching. Squeeze your cheeks and rotate out to that slightly turned out position. Doesn't have to be huge. Now, transfer your weight or push your weight onto, say, let's go onto our left leg here. And could you just take your right foot off the floor a little bit and hold that balance? So right now my right foot's clearing the floor, 3, 2, and then place that right foot down. And do the same thing on the other side. Get stacked over top. Find a single leg balance in this position. 3, 2, place down. Okay, I'm not going to direct you directionally because that gets confusing. So pick a leg, stand on it. Point the other leg out, forward, but sideways. So that when you end up placing that foot down, your heel and your big toe will be on a line. So you will start moving forward. That leg is placed down and it's straight. You're going to keep everything straight as you push off of your back leg. Transfer your weight to now that front leg. Pull your back heel to heel. Then point that second leg out. Toe ball heel, it's a slightly forward step. Place the foot down, leg straight. Transfer your weight. Pull the back leg heel to heel. Then point it out and forward. Toe ball heel. Pull yourself across, keeping the leg straight, pushing off the back, transferring that load, heel to heel, toe ball heel, land, pull, point. Nice steady transfer, pulling heel to heel. Let's do 2 more. Point forward, toe ball heel, transfer that weight. Everything is straight. Pull it in. And last one, point, toe ball heel, transfer, pull, 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 and relax.
Awesome.
Fired up.
In the seated positions earlier today, you were saying sit tall in extension. That doesn't mean flexion is a bad word. So let's work on our forward folds here. Using a wall to keep it strict or bending your knees to modify. I'll be modifying and Lauryn's going to keep it nice and strict here on this forward fold. I like starting in a little bit of extension. So look to the corner of the wall and the ceiling.
My butt's touching the wall.
A little bit of extension and a little bit of a bum touch. That's okay too. So from here, we'll flex the spine. I cue the crown of head goes high, chin goes low. Easy on the neck flexion here. Then pull the abs, the rib cage, down to those hips, making sure your bum stays right over top of your heels. Then I'm going to bend my knees to make it easier, and then continue that flexion pattern, trying to get my forehead to touch my knees. Then at the safe depth of your fold, modify as you need, walk out to a high plank. Taking your time. So I'm already in my high plank. I'm going to rest. No, take your time, take your time. I don't want to rush. We'll just wait down here so we can comment or maybe check out Lauryn's fold here. Again, I hope her legs are working really hard.
They're working really hard.
Grip the floor. Grip it down.
Whoa.
Great.
That's hard.
Cool. So from here, we got into a little bit of crawling, and I'd like to get back to that. So on all fours, can we get to the hover? So first, we're going to screw in those hands, make sure wrist extension is appropriate for you here today. And then we're going to pull a single knee into the hip socket and hover on the floor. This, again, is maybe called a vertical horse stance. Sorry to be horsing around with our names here. 2 more seconds and down. It's probably one of the first core drills one of my very first trainers made me do. I thought it was so dumb. How is this an exercise? 3, 2, and relax. But as I've done it more and more and more, I can make it feel like an exercise. So for one more time each side, can we do the same thing? Think compression or pulling in the hip socket to create that little gap between your kneecap and the floor. Down. And for 10 seconds again, same thing other side, that compression in the hip. Pull in. Can you feel your butt cheek work here? Can you feel the hip socket? And then down. Push the hands away. Give it a little bit of a break off those hands for a second. Take a breath. We try the same thing up top. So this time on all fours, shoulders in retraction, nice grip on the ground. Can we just alternate and tap the other shoulder? So slowly offload. In this case, it'll be my left hand. Bending the elbow, I'll just tap my shoulder, press down.
Both knees are on the floor.
Offloading, both knees on the ground, tap the opposite shoulder, and down. We'll do that one more time each, just nice and slow and steady. Can you sweat the slow stuff? Can you make it kind of tough? From here, numerous ways to get up. What are you going to do, Lauren? I'm going to do my lunge.
I'm going to fold back up.
Great. So I'm going to press away. I'm going to extend my hips. How did you get up? Did you use your get up, part of the get up, like a lunge, or enjoy that nice flexion fold? So that vertical horse stance, movement on the ground there, that pull up, that compression to be so strong and tight in the core.
Yep.
Horsing around more.
Yep. All right, we're back to our feet underneath us. Then they turn out again. Great. From here, we're going to do the same walk, but now our knees are going to bend. So let's start by bending our knees, pushing your knees slightly over your toes. Check in. Are you tall here? So spine nice and tall versus hinge forward. Let's stand up again. Start that again. Tuck those hips under, slide down like you're in your toaster. There we go. Now transfer weight to a single leg and take the leg that's now free and point it forward. It's again that forward but lateral step. Then toe ball heel, it comes down. Now pull on the floor. That knee's going to start to bend. The back knee's going to go straight. Transfer weight to the front foot. Take the load off of the back leg, but pull the back heel to front heel. Both knees are bent. Still keep that weight on the outside leg because you're going to point. Toe ball heel. Pull across. Transferring the weight to the front foot. Offload. Heel to heel. Tap. Then reach it. Toe ball heel, pull the floor together. Transfer weight. Pause. Heel to heel. Then point. Toe ball heel. Pull yourself across. Find that transfer balance. Pull, tap. Point. Toe ball heel. Pulling yourself across. One more. Heel to heel. Toe ball heel. Pull, 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 pull. Both heels come together. Then stand up by pressing the floor away.
Woo! Little slippy floor back here. Must be all the cleaning I do on the weekends back there. Just kidding. Kind of. Core time. Can we flex again to the floor? If that spine flexion is not speaking to you today, come on down, join us on the floor any other way you can. But here we'll use our flexion. Again, I'll use this ballet bar to keep my legs strict as well. So starting in extension, meaning looking at the corner of the wall and the ceiling, and then crown of head high, flexing the neck. Taking your time, pulling through the rib cage, compressing on those hips, and barely touching the wall. I know butts of different sizes will make that different for different people, but barely touching that wall stays nice and strict. Are you fighting gravity here?
Mm-hmm.
You have to trust the anti-gravity muscles to get them to do their thing. So we took our time. We're walking out again to that high planks position for just a quick second. What are you doing with the hands? The elbows, are they straight? The shoulders? Just cue that. Let's get back to all fours. So here we'll crawl just a little bit. All fours. Like earlier, could you lift the knee and the hand at the same time?
Same hand, same knee.
So opposite. So left hand in my case, right knee. Just lift up, hold that for 10, 9, 8, and then down. And same thing other side. This time without the elbow bend on the front leg, the front elbow. Keep the elbow straight, and again, just kind of pull into that shoulder socket and hold that and down. Now, left hand, right knee, lift off the ground, but then take a stride forward and place down in front. Right on. The fingertips on my right hand are just about to the heel on my left. Same thing on the other side. So, lift off the floor, stiff elbows as you can, pull forward, place down. Repeat a couple more. Deliberate lift off together, pull weight forward, heel heavy. Other side, same thing. Pull, lift, land. Pull, travel, land. Pull, travel, land. And 2 more here. Pull. It is so much easier on that side. Lauren, what about you? Sames? Harder? Easier?
I was more thinking about my elbows that we'll talk about later.
Nice. Okay. So from here, numerous ways to get up. Extend the hips, or do your fold, or do your lunge here, and nice and control. Come up. The things we'll talk about on Friday night. Don't know what we're having for dinner yet.
No, somebody has to go to the
I think there's a
grocery
nice bottle of red wine, though.
Ooh.
And we'll discuss elbows and crawls, just like normal Friday night conversations.
It's not really a lie either.
No, it's not. Finishing off those walking stances to come into that fun sumo squat. So let's check it out. Your sumo stance. It's yours. Make it up. But it's a little bit wider. And again, a definition I read about a sumo squat might be 2 widths of your shoulders. So if you think one of my shoulders is there, okay, then my other shoulder is there. I think I'm about right. Play with that because your hips and your body might be different than ours. From here, though, just to cue the sumo, press your feet heavy, squeeze your bum, feel engaged. Then slowly bend the knees by pulling the heels together. Adduct, pull those heels together to descend into your squat. Then push the feet down and away to come back up. Let's look at Lauren's side profile as we do that one more time together. Legs are stiff, pressing out. Then we'll pull those knees out as the heels go in. And you can see that nice posture Lauren's sitting in, nice and tall. Then press down to come back up. Go heel toes together. Shake it out. If you're familiar with our sumo, you can start right away. And if you're not, just watch, follow along. Watch for 1, and let's follow along for about 3 together. Sumo stance, low, and back, low, and back. Who's ready to come? So let's get into that nice second position. I like that little extra slap. Transfer weight to one leg, pull up like a ballet move, and then kick out. Come back to that same place. Get low, hit it, work on a little balance, leg extension, heels. Same thing. I'm going to encroach on Lauren's camera time here, so I'm going to move over just a little bit. And then here we go. That side profile is nice because you can see how tall she's trying to stay here. One more time each side here. Nice and tall. And then last one here. And up. Last night you had a nice observation about that when we did that in class. The landing. The landing.
Everyone was landing without cueing. Toe, ball, heel.
Because it would hurt.
Because it hurts
the other way.
to go like that. Don't do that.
Be efficient. Maybe use your shoes to encourage the heel strike. But think about the other ways to use your foot as well. Sumos and some push-ups. So let's place our hands, not on this TV screen here.
I'm walking toe, ball, heel.
But place your hands in your push-ups position. So at the top of my push-up, my hands would be here. At the bottom of my push-up, my hands and my elbows and shoulders combinations would be here. What does it look like to you? Does it look same? Does it look different? What does yours look like? Okay, let's try that 1 or 2 more times here. So where are your hands in your push-ups? Mine would be about here at the front. And then at my deepest part of the push-up, my elbows are tight. This position is A++++. And then as we start to go up here, that's kind of that C- to failing grade on our push-up. So we want to work on our push-ups for our strength, making sure that the elbows are somewhere here. A sumo wrestler, a football player, boom, they're going to be here to stay nice and tight. And that's where I'm going to try to be today too. So anyhow you want to get to the floor. I guess I'm already there. Here we go. So hands nice and open, high planks position. And for our first one here, just take 10 seconds to descend in your push-up. 10, 9. Where are those elbows? Pulling into the lats or the rib cage there. And then down. Then tuck the chin, tuck the hips, maybe modify with the knees, and press up. We got one more time. Plank position, grip the floor with those hands, squeeze your butt, make this the single hardest push-up that you could. Taking your time, adding that tension, finding the floor, and then tuck a chin, tuck the hips, modify the up as you need, and then take your time coming up anyhow you want. And I'm going to try that forward fold. And up. Sumo. Sumo. Sumo.
Back in our sumo wide stance.
Just share it. Just sharing.
From here, pulling ourselves down to that upright but seated position. Then pushing off, transferring our weight. Reaching, staying tall for this one. Toe, ball, heel, land. Push off. Keep that bottom leg super straight. Land. This time, if you want to get a little wild, you could allow a little tip and kick and reach toe, ball, heel. And up, but that bottom leg is still straight. Kick and reach toe, ball, heel. One more time each side. Take your time. I shouldn't hear your landings from here. They should be soft. Whoops. Last one. Then to center. Shake it off. One more set of push-ups, I believe.
Yeah.
Ian's still sumoing.
One last set of push-up here.
One last set of push-ups.
Same thing. Let's go 10 seconds slow. Modify up as we need. So, hands in, shoulder width or similar. Pull those elbows into the body as we descend. Let's go. 10 seconds. 10. Is your bum squeezed? Are your hands torqued in the floor? Are you bracing on your core? And rest on the ground. Then tuck chin, tuck hips, press back up. One last repetition. Tucking hips, making sure the chin doesn't lead like a turkey neck. And then nice and control, descend. And that turkey neck cue is for me because I feel it.
Where are we?
On the ground. Tuck hips, coordinate the core. Yep. Press with the modified as you need. And then last time, just standing here. Is right. Sunshine's being beautiful in here today. We got good lighting. We got those nice moves. Like just finish with a fun balance series here.
Great.
With our feet in parallel, we'll aim for about 5-second balances in each position. Challenge as you need or regress back towards parallel if the challenge is too much. Feet in parallel, maybe your balance aid on the side. Press through the toes on the front to go up. and hold for 4, 3, 2, and take about the same amount of time to come back down out of that balance. So maybe 3, 2, down. Then, as Lauren's cued already, let's pivot on those heels. Maybe bring them together if they've just drifted a little bit further away. And then press down through the toes again to rise up. Stiff legs, rib cage connected to hips, bum squeeze. And then take 5 seconds to pull those heels back together. And down. Then from here, transfer weight to the one side, tendu or step out. From here, same thing, press down, rise up, hold for 5, 4, 3, and then same 4, 3, 2, to go down. Stay here. Can we try that just one more time at the second position or our wide stance? Press down, go up. Again, is the rib cage connected to hips, extending those hips forward. I do feel this ankle kind of sickling, so I'm trying to press it forward and then descend for 4, 3, 2, down. Then push weight to the one foot, pull back into first, and then same thing. Press down to go up and hold for 5, 4, butt squeeze, ribs down, and then 5 seconds to get those heels back to the ground there. Stiff legs, that's again a cue for me. And final one, in parallel, press those hips forward, squeeze a tennis ball between the knees and the ankles there, staying nice and tight in the straw, and then 5 seconds as we descend with straight legs. And then wiggle.
Whew.
I feel restored, I feel recharged to enjoy the sunshine today, and whatever challenges the garden, the bicycle, or Lauren throw my way this weekend.
Garlic.
Garlic.
Plant. Garlic.
Gotta plant. So we'll do that. The wet soil last couple of days will help that
How many
as well.
should we plant? Last year we planted 60. Well, we got
70.
67 bulbs. So
Yeah.
we planted at least 67.
Yes.
So this year,
if you
what's our
need
number?
garlic and it can cross the border,
$7 a bulb.
let us know. So thank you very much for joining us here today. My name's Ian,
I'm Lauren.
and together, I'm mostly bars,
I'm mostly bells.
and together we'll stay strong with our movements and you. Thank you for being here. We'll have some programs this weekend, like add play on your Saturday, a little morning routine on Sunday, and then back at it next week. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend. Stay strong.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.